Hi friends, welcome back to another video. I'm Shay if you are new here, and for today's video we are going to be doing another Christmas shop with me. If you've missed my past three, I will go ahead and link them down below. We've done Target, Walmart, and Hobby Lobby, and I do plan to stop by a few other stores this year, so make sure you're subscribed to see all of that. Today we're going to be shopping at World Market and Michael's. I'm going to be browsing around and showing you all of my favorite finds, and then of course we will come back here and I'll share a little haul of the things I picked up for myself. So I hope you guys enjoy. If you do, please give it a thumbs up and let's go ahead and get into the shop with me. All right, we are starting with World Market, and this is one of my favorite stores, especially in the fall and winter when I'm looking for some more unique pieces. So we are starting off at this little section here with all of their different Christmas stems. They have such a great selection. If you're looking for stems that are a little bit more plain and simple, they have a lot of greenery options, but also some with red berries for a Christmas touch, and I just love how full all of them are. They also had a great candle selection per usual. We spent so long just smelling all of the great candles. I loved this bell one. I feel like it is such a pretty and timeless choice for Christmas. One thing I feel like I saw a lot of on this shopping trip were some very festive candlesticks, so you'll see several in World Market, but also more when we visit Michael's as well. And I just feel like they're such a cute and easy way to make a space feel very festive. And now we're on to the next table, and you can see they have several more different candles and little candle holders. I think these ones are so cute. I know this design is very popular with drinking glasses, and we've seen those for several years, but I have actually never seen the same style in a little candle holder size, so I thought I would share some of the different options that they have. Another cute candle holder option are these little glass trees for candlesticks. I think these are going to be very popular this year. I love this crystal looking clear one, but I also like that deeper green. I can't decide which one is my favorite. They had so many different amazing scents, from cinnamon to holly berry and balsam pine. I seriously spent forever just smelling all of the different candles, and these particular ones that I'm showing are all $24.99, so such a good deal. I also thought that these glass tree candles were very fun and high-end looking, and again, super unique, which is why I love World Market. I did think that it was a little odd that it was just the top part of the tree that came off because the hole was really small, but nonetheless, I thought they were super pretty and such a great price at just $14.99. I truly wasn't kidding when I said we spent forever in this section just smelling all of the candles. I thought these ones were really pretty with the Christmassy packaging. And again, you're going to find several different styles of taper candles. I thought these bow ones were really cute. Moving on to their garland section, they had quite the variety this year, which I definitely appreciated. Again, they had several options that were more plain and simple with greenery, which I always love because they don't necessarily scream Christmas, so I can keep them up a little bit longer. But they also had garlands with pine cones and berries already added to feel a bit more Christmassy. So they had several different styles that way, similar to their wreath selection that we are in now. I feel like they had a lot of different styles. They had some that were more plain and minimal, and you could definitely keep them that way or customize them with your own ribbons and Christmas picks, but they also had several that were very dressed up and full. I really liked this Christmas Village one, but again, lots with different pine cones and red berries. And now we're entering their ornament section, and like I said earlier, World Market has very unique pieces, so that is definitely reflected in all of their different ornament styles. So I don't personally love them. I think they would be fun if you like to choose very fun, random ornaments for each of your family members. But if you're looking for plain, simple ornaments that you can decorate your full tree with, I would definitely look elsewhere. Next, I stumbled across this end cap with so many different bells, and I loved all of their different options. This one was one of my favorites with all of the different shapes, and it was $9.99, so I definitely think it's going to be a popular item this year and go quickly. Another one that I think will be popular is this bell cluster with the deep red velvet ribbon. I think the bells are a very unique shape, and again, it's $9.99, so such a good deal. Down this next aisle, they had several different Christmas pieces that would be great for shelf styling. So they had these little gingerbread houses that light up. If you're planning to do a very colorful Christmas, they had these fun village houses that felt very whimsical, and they also had some bottle brush trees to kind of go along with that theme. And down the aisle a little bit further, I found a few more neutral pieces. So they had this wooden display of this really pretty nature scenery, and then also some nativity sets and little reindeer. Moving right along, we are now in their section with their stockings, pillows, and blankets, and they first had these stockings that were very fun and whimsical and colorful, but they also had some options that were a bit more neutral and traditional Christmas, so I loved this plaid one. It felt very classic Christmas. They also had this faux fur one that definitely feels very cozy, and one of my favorites was this oatmeal colored knit one, and I believe all of the stockings were $19.99, so such a good deal for those. And then into their pillow section, they also had a great variety. I do remember thinking that some of the pillows were a bit steeply priced, so I didn't pick any up, but I just wanted to share a few of the ones that I thought were really pretty. I've seen a lot of gingerbread pillows this year, and this one has to be my favorite. I feel like there's a lot of detail, and I like that some of the details are 3D, including this one here, so some of the ornaments are actually mini pom-poms that stick out, and this one was definitely my favorite of them all. I loved the different variety of trees on it, and I thought it would look so pretty on the center of our couch, but again, the price point was just a bit too high, and I don't like splurging too much for seasonal pillows. They also had quite the variety of different blankets, so I thought that these ones were really pretty. They had a lot of those classic Christmas designs, so I loved the plaid, and the red was just a bit deeper, which is perfect for what I'm decorating with. And they had this whole collection of very fluffy faux fur blankets, so again, I loved these. I think they'd look really pretty layered on your couch or kind of thrown over the arm just to add a lot of coziness and texture. Wrapping up with World Market, we are now in their kitchen section, and if you've been to World Market, you know that this is such a good section, especially during the holidays. So they had so many different stations with different themes, lots of different gingerbread items, which I feel like have been very popular in past years and again this year, but what I really loved was their mug and cup selection. So to first hop into those, I loved these little glass trees. They came in the clear and the deep green color, and I just think they are so pretty and festive. They also had, again, several different mugs, so I thought this one with the tree was really cute, and I loved this one so much. It kind of reminded me of a little sweater with those cutouts, so super cute. I'm kind of sad it didn't come home with me. Another thing I love about World Market is they always have so many great pieces for hosting, so I love this tree drink dispenser. They also had a few different tree-shaped charcuterie boards, so they had this one with the wooden and marble, and then also this one on top that actually has different labels. And one of my favorite finds was this little wooden sleigh. I think it would be so pretty to put your baked goods on top and use it as a little serving tray. And here we have all of their very trendy Christmas glasses that I was talking about earlier. So they're all $12.99 and they have several different styles. I loved this red and green bow one. I thought it was very festive. They also had ones with little candy canes and Christmas holly and ones that said ho ho ho. So seriously, so many cute designs. And if you're a drink girly, I think these are so fun and festive for the holiday season. And that wraps up our World Market shopping trip, so now let's head into Michael's and see what we can find. Right when I walked in, they had a huge selection of wreaths and garlands. Honestly, it was a bit overwhelming with how many different styles they had to choose from, but I scanned over the prices of some of their wreaths and it looked like most of them ranged from $30 to $40, and their garlands were 50% off when we were there. I'm not sure if they run that sale all the time or if we just got lucky, but it was definitely a happy surprise when we popped in because I've been on the lookout for some new garlands. And I personally think that Michael's had the best selection of garlands out of all of the stores I've shopped at this season, so if you're also looking for some, I would definitely check there. And as usual, they kind of organized all of their different themes into different sections, so we're first starting out with their very traditional red and green theme. If you're going for that very classic traditional Christmas look, they had a lot of fun pieces for the kitchen, so I thought these mugs were really cute and that Santa jar down below. And one plate that I saw that I really liked the idea of was this giving plate. It was basically the idea that it didn't have an owner and that you just keep passing the plate along with different baked goods. So I thought that was a little cute way to keep on passing the holiday cheer, especially if you like to bake. But anyway, as you can see, they had several different pieces, not just for the kitchen, but also great for shelf styling. So they had some cute snow globes, some little Christmas houses, and further down they had a lot of pieces that went with the Santa and Nutcracker themes. I saw this little peppermint candy jar and I thought it would be so cute if you had a little hot cocoa bar. This would be so fun to place your crushed peppermints in for your hot cocoa, so I loved that. And now shifting gears from the very bright reds and traditional colors, we are now in their neutral gingerbread section. They first had these gingerbread houses that again lit up, and I thought that they were such a cute addition. Another item I really liked were these ornaments because they definitely went with the gingerbread theme, but they were a lot more subtle and not like your typical gingerbread ornaments, so they just look a lot more high-end and elevated in my opinion. Still following the gingerbread theme, they also had some great kitchenware pieces. Of course, they had some really cute mugs. I liked the snowflake one, especially because that one snowflake kind of goes up on the side and changes the shape of it a little bit. So I thought it was very unique and pretty. And again, they just had several little plates and bowls to fit the theme. I loved the different tones of these flocked trees on top, but to be honest, they were quite pricey. Even though this entire section was 25% off, it would still make these trees about $26, and I feel like you can find much more affordable options at Home Goods, so I passed on those, but I did think they were pretty along with those matching reindeer. Another item I really liked in this section were these little houses. I would probably stain the roof to be a little bit darker, but I just think the amber glass look looks very high-end, and I actually found out that they opened, so you could store little things in them or maybe even use them as a cookie jar. And another favorite find from this section was this little Santa bust. I just love that it's very antique and vintage looking. It's the perfect size for shelf decor, and I just think this one is going to be very popular this year, especially because Walmart carries a similar one that's already gone viral and is out of stock in most stores. So moving right along here, on this bottom shelf, I found this brass sleigh, and I thought it was so pretty. I've seen the wicker one from Hobby Lobby that's very popular, but I just like the color of this one and the warmth that it adds. And if you're going for that rustic Christmas feel, they had some really pretty artwork pieces. I loved that traditional Santa one, as well as the Santa in a winter wonderland scenery. All right, we are moving right along here. I just wanted to share this front section that had all of these little customizable ornaments that you could add your own photo in. So they had several different styles. And I'm not one to use pink in my holiday decor, but if you are going with that Pink Miss Christmas theme, I figured I would do a quick overview to share what they had. This next style was really bare, but I did find these extra large Christmas bows that I was very intrigued by. Let me know in the comments how you would style these. I've seen people use huge bows like this as Christmas tree toppers that kind of cascade down the tree, but it felt a lot more like a pool noodle, so it was definitely structured, and I don't know that it would flow nicely down the tree, but let me know if you have any ideas. And in addition to these jumbo bows, I also found these mini pre-made bows. I like to get mine off Amazon, but I thought it was nice that they're carrying these in stores now so that you don't have to tie a bunch of little bows yourself. And now that brings us down the next style here that has several different Christmas picks and also all of these little Christmas village houses. I loved the different style of these ones. They felt very classic Christmas, very cozy, and they had a lot of detail and character. I know cloches have become very popular this year, and I really liked this one with this Christmas tree cutout base. I think a little village house inside would be pretty, or even one of these mini trees. And they had several different little trees to choose from, some that were more simple, but also some that had some berries. And a great hack is if you don't like the bottom fabric piece, you can just get your own fabric and wrap it around the base to switch up the look. But now I'm sharing just a few more of the different tree styles that they had. These are perfect to pop on a console table, or even these taller ones can just be placed on the floor, and I was really impressed with how realistic looking some of them were. And now we're into some of their Christmas picks, and to be honest, I didn't find any that were that super deep red color. A lot of these were bright red, so if you're going with the traditional color scheme, that's perfect. But if you're wanting more muted reds and burgundies, I didn't find a lot of great options. But for their regular greenery, I actually found a lot of different pieces that I liked. One thing I love about Michael's stems is that they're very full, so even though they're a little bit higher of a price point, you can typically get away with buying less because they are so full. And one thing I noticed about their stems this year was a lot of them were very floppy and less structured, which I personally like the look of to give them a more organic feel in a vase. They also had this section of mini Christmas picks that can be styled in so many different ways. I like to use them to customize the look of my garlands by just popping some in to add a little bit more color and visual interest. And you can also do the same, of course, with your tree or even some wreaths. Swapping out your Christmas picks are just such an easy way to be able to switch up your style from year to year and add different colors. So here are a few more from their selection that caught my eye. Now these aren't particularly my style, but if you like the big maximalist look of these ornament garlands, I think they could be a fun addition to your home, maybe on a mantle or on a banister. I've even seen some people wrap them around a tree, but I personally like the look of some of these more simple ones. I really liked this burgundy bead garland, and with the swoop detail that it had, I definitely think that you could achieve kind of an old-fashioned vintage Christmas look. In this little center aisle here, they had several different curated ornament sets. They had different colors for any color scheme that you're going for, from very colorful to a lot more neutral toned. And if you didn't luck out this year with scoring some of the flocked ornaments from Hobby Lobby or Walmart, they also had some options here. right, we are in the last section now, and I just found a bunch of candles and candle holders that I wanted to share. As I mentioned earlier in the video, I really lucked out with finding so many different festive candlesticks, so these tree ones were some of my favorite. The green tone of these was more of a warmer hue, and I thought it was perfect, so I loved those ones. I also thought these candy cane ones were very festive, and these bow ones were very popular, but again, for good reason. And then they had some more neutral colored ones on the end. If you're going with a nutcracker theme, you absolutely need to snag those ones. And down below, they had some more unique shaped candles. I loved the Santa mug one. I think if you have a hot cocoa bar, this one would be so pretty to have out on display. One of my favorite candles that I saw were these burgundy bow candles, and oh my goodness, they are just so timeless and elegant. I think they'd be so pretty on a shelf, but I am so sad that I didn't snag one to come home with me. But wrapping around the front, they had a few more different candles and candlestick holders, and a lot of them actually reminded me of some of the ones at World Market. I love these wrapped pillar candles. They feel so festive, and both of the styles I'm showing here would be perfect for that classic traditional Christmas look. Same with these tree candles on the bottom here. They looked very high-end, and I liked the pop of burgundy from the ornaments. And lastly, I just wanted to share a very popular item this year, which are these candle charms. They kind of look like stud earrings just without the back, and you're able to push them into your candlesticks and give them a customizable look. So let me know if you'd try them out. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that little shop with me, and as always, I would love to know if you've shopped at either of these stores this season and what you like or what you plan to get for yourself. But we're gonna get into what I picked out, and I didn't get too many things, but I still wanted to share a little haul. So we'll first start with World Market, since that's where we went first. So this is the first piece that I picked up. It's just this little dish towel here that says Mary on it, and it has this pretty stitching at the bottom. If you've watched any of my Decorate With Me videos before, you know I love to add a lot of coziness and layers with different dish towels or washcloths, so I thought this would be really cute to style. So it's just this lighter oatmeal color with the deeper red words, and it's exactly the colors that I'm going for this year. And I also remember it being very affordable. Yeah, $3.99. So such a steal, and I'm super excited to style with this. Next up, I did get sucked into another little wreath. I always love mini wreaths because there are so many different ways to style them, and I think this one is so cute. So this is their 8-inch wreath. It is the mini red berry and pine, and it was $8.99. The greenery feels very rubbery and real touch, which I like, and I just think the berries add a fun pop of color. So again, super excited to style with this one. You know I couldn't leave the store without some bells, so I of course had to pick these ones up. Again, I think these ones are going to be popular this year just because they are very affordable. They were $9.99. I just love the deeper red velvet ribbon, so super excited about these. I also think the bells are just a really unique shape, as I mentioned, and they kind of have that old world aged look, so they just look very high-end and expensive even though they were so affordable. And the last thing that I picked up from World Market was, surprise, surprise, a candle. As I said, we were in that aisle forever just smelling all of the good candles, and it was so hard to narrow it down, but this one is so amazing. It just seriously smells so good and not like a Christmas candle that I already have. So this one has notes of cranberry, sugarcane, and vanilla bean, and it's their cranberry balsam candle. I thought the packaging was really cute with the muted colors, and this one was $19.99. So for this large of a candle, I think it's such a good deal, and I am so excited to burn this because it seriously smells so good. And that is everything that I got from World Market. So now it's time for Michael's, and I actually only picked up one thing. Well, two technically, but they're the same item, and they are these really pretty garlands. So like I said in the video, they were 50% off when I was there. Honestly, if they weren't half off, I wouldn't have purchased them just because I do feel like they're a little bit pricey for how sparse they are, but I'm excited for these. I was on the lookout for a very simple garland, and this is just perfect for the smaller space that I want to put it in. So this one was $24.99 regular price. So again, I feel like that's a little bit steep for how simple this one is, but I did end up getting two for that price. So I thought that was a pretty good deal. So that is everything that I got for my shopping trip. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if any of these pieces caught your eye or what you're planning to get for yourself. And I'll try to link as many products as I can down below so that you guys can shop these products as well. And again, I would love for you to subscribe because I have so much Christmas content coming soon. I think my next video is going to be a gigantic haul of everything I picked up this year, so you're not going to want to miss it. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, friends.